This is the one verse that Protestants can't answer. It's from the book of James, and let me explain. James 2:24 says that we're justified by works and not by faith alone. Surely that's game over for the Protestants who say we're justified sola fide. No, we're not. James says we're justified by faith and works. But here's the question. Is James contradicting the Reformation cry of sola fide? I don't think so, and let me tell you why. James 1 spells out how salvation happens. In verse 18, he says that the word of God has brought us forth and made us new creations. In verse 21, he says we're saved by the implanted word of truth. In other words, the word of the gospel is what causes us to be born again and delivers us from hell. James literally begins with the gospel and then he threads that gospel throughout the rest of his letter. And so is James now saying we need to add to that gospel by doing stuff? No. Look at the context as he moves into chapter 2. He's addressing the sin of partiality. Some Christians, well, they think they're better than others. And they're proving to have a false faith. That's why in verse 14 he asks, what good is it if you say you have faith and have no works? And the answer is it's useless, because it's not real faith. Real faith works, just like Abraham, just like Rahab. In other words, James is saying your good works vindicate your faith. They show that you're the real deal. They show that you're not a false pretender. He's not saying that a mix of your faith and the gospel make you righteous before the tribunal of God, as if it's a mix of what Jesus has done and what I've done, which saves me. Works don't justify us before God. Paul says that in Romans 4 verse 5. To the one who doesn't work, but believes in him who justifies the ungodly, his faith is counted as righteousness. And so good works don't justify us before God, rather they justify us before people. Good works show that our faith is the real deal. And so no, James 2 is not a bad verse for Protestants.